Namaskar. Welcome to Gnani's World. In this video, we'll be exposing the lies of Mr. Vinod from String YouTube channel. Please watch a clip from his video titled Who Invented Caste System? Manusmriti, Ambedkar and Varna System Controversy.
Firstly, there is no Varna called Dalit. It's a made-up name. There are only 4 Varnas: Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Dalit in Hindi means जिसका दलन किया गया हो, meaning who got suppressed.
Hey, what bullshit? Where is it written?
What if I tell you it's written in Manusmriti? This will end the Dalit debate. ब्राह्मण, क्षत्रिय, वैश्य ये तीनों वर्ण द्विजन्मा कहलाते हैं और चौथा वर्ण शूद्र एक जन्मा कहलाता है, अन्य 5वां वर्ण नहीं है. First line says Brahmin, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas are Dvij. Dvij literally means reborn. I'm not talking about the rebirth after death. Dvij means in the same life you're getting a new life. How is it possible? Have you seen friends who talk new, act new after they come from US? They're transformed. They don't behave the same way they behaved when they were here. Their body language, their pronunciation, their behavior changes, right? You getting what I'm saying? I'm not talking about that kind of transformation. I'm talking about yogis who work upon themselves, destroying the shackles of ignorance within themselves. Through years and years of sadhana, they go through such a phenomenal levels of transformation that they almost look like a newborn. Nothing of the past remains. For example, Gautama Siddhartha, Dvij is an appropriate word for him. He was reborn after he walked away from his kingdom and took to forests to do intense sadhana. After he came out, he spoke something which has become a source of liberation and enlightenment for millions of people even today. You know about those Buddha quotes circulating in Facebook, Insta, etc. But people who are living like animals keep on repeating the same stuff, eating, sleeping, blah blah, and reproduction, will not know what I am talking about. But this land has seen any number of such beings. Even today, there are so many living Dvijas. So it is said that Shudra gets only one life. Even in today's world, it is true. They didn't mean to say Shudra is a lower caste, they mean to say people who are low in wisdom. So one can become a great leader, revered by many people, but know nothing about the cosmos, is a Shudra. One who has got a good degree from IIT, Stanford, but know nothing about the functioning of 5 elements, never experienced the subtlety of the breath, is a Shudra. Anyways, if you see the end of the last line, here it's written that there is no 5th Varna. You are blaming Manusmriti that it is discriminating against Dalits, but there is no mention of Dalits at all.
This shloka is clearly against Shudras. The Manusmriti is total bullshit, bro.
Okay, anyways, let's move on to the topic of Ambedkar here. Before addressing the Ambedkar topic, I want to address the issue of discrimination. Everyone says that people of lower caste were discriminated. Firstly, there is no written evidence of that. Not even the Muslim rulers wrote anything like that. People from lower caste had no opportunities of learning Sanskrit at that time. The discrimination was so high. The so-called upper caste people treated the lower caste almost like slaves. Of discrimination. Everyone says that people of lower caste were discriminated. Firstly, there is no written evidence of that. Not even the Muslim rulers wrote anything like that. People from lower caste had no opportunities of learning Sanskrit at that time. The discrimination was so high. His own book. Only one reference is enough. Let's go to the end of the page 14 and the starting of page 15. He wrote this. To take a few illustrations of this propaganda in support of the Purusha Sukta, reference may be made to the Apastamba Dharma Sutra and the Vasishtha Dharma Sutra. The Apastamba Dharma Sutra states there are 4 castes: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras. Among these, each preceding caste is superior by birth to the one following only to their body, but it is always the Guru who helps the person to transform and become a Dvija. So superiority by birth in the 5th Sutra means birth due to knowledge. Ambedkar ji failed to understand the concept of Dvijas even after reading the translated versions for 15 long years. Doesn't matter how long, if you're not soaked into spirituality, how the hell can you understand these things? Not your fault, Ambedkar ji. You read the bullshit translations which were meant to divide Bharat. The whole divide in the society started when they failed to understand the meaning of the word Dvijas. They failed to get the concept of reborn, enlightenment.
Dear viewers of Jnani's World, by watching this clip, hope you understood the conspiracy of the WhatsApp University graduated Hindutva Sanghi fanatic Mr. Vinod from String YouTube channel.
Instead of apologizing for the atrocities held by their ancestors on Shudras, this Hindutva Sanghi fanatics is trying to whitewash by cherry-picking one Dharma Sutra and twisting it by explaining out of the context. Of course, this is not his own knowledge. This same rubbish was written by Sadhguru in his article, What is Enlightenment, on January 28, 2013.
Snapshot of same given here for your reference. In this article, Sadhguru writes, in India, enlightened beings have been referred to as Dvijas. Dvija means twice born. Enlightenment means a conscious self-annihilation. Right now, most people are not thinking of enlightenment. They are just trying to live a little better. They want to live a little more peacefully, joyfully, more efficiently, more effectively. We can use yoga for that also. This same nonsense is uttered by Mr. Vinod in his video. In this article, Sadhguru uses Buddha's photo too, and the same Buddha example is given by Mr. Vinod.
Dear viewers of Jnani's World, we also see the facts of yoga in coming videos. Now we'll see exactly how and why only Brahmins, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas are called Dvijas and why not Shudras. In his video, Mr. Vinod has shown the 4th and 5th Sutra of Apastamba Dharma Sutra and straight away went to 14 to 18 verses and said, Dvija means enlightenment, nothing is by birth. And Dr. Baba Saheb was misunderstood by reading fabricated translations and so on, and presented Dr. Ambedkar in bad light. As he tried to blame Dr. Ambedkar and abused him, just watch the clip.
Yes, this happened. But linking this to our culture, Vedas, Upanishads and other holy scriptures is a pure propaganda and stupidity, nothing else. When Ambedkar did that, he burnt Manusmriti. You understand what kind of a person he is?
Hey, you stupid. What is your qualification to call him an idiot? Ambedkar had many degrees. How dare you question his credibility?
I agree that he has so many degrees, he was highly educated and I'll never ever reach his level in his field, but according to your bullshit logic, Ambedkar ji, sorry to say that if you read bullshit translations for 15 years, which was done by a foreigner, your knowledge won't increase. You eventually become a part of that propaganda. This is a serious lacking in qualification to write the constitution of Bharat. Okay. But this doesn't give him the license to propagate his false knowledge and write books on the false assumptions. This is half-truth. This is what happens when you don't know about the subject but start writing. Let's open Apastamba Dharma Sutra. Firstly, sutras are not slokas, okay? It's different. The sutra which he quoted was the 4th and 5th sutra, and the meaning which he quoted is absolutely correct, but he was so brainwashed from half-truth that he missed the sutras from 14 to 18. We had these beautiful systems in the ancient days. From whom a student learns about dharmas is called Acharya. He should not be insulted because he gives birth through knowledge, and that birth through knowledge is the ultimate. Parents.
Dear viewers of Jnani's World, now we decided to expose an actual who is stupid and fool. Now let us look at the sutras from Apastamba Dharma Sutra. Prasanna 1, Patala 1, Kanda 1, Sutra 4 to 19. 4. There are 4 castes: Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. 5. Amongst these, each preceding caste is superior by birth to the one following. Now the missed out from context 6, 7 and 8 sutras, which are very important to understand the whole context. 6. For all these excepting Shudras and those who have committed bad actions are ordained the initiation, the study of Veda and the kindling of the sacred fire, and their works are productive of rewards in this world and the next. 7. To serve the other 3 castes is ordained for the Shudra. 8. The higher the caste which he serves, the greater is the merit. Here in 7th Sutra, the duty of Shudra was decided, and from 9th Sutra, whatever discussed is about only 3 castes, Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishya, and there is no discussion of Shudra. Now we'll read 9th and from 14th to 19th Sutra. 9. In the initiation of the consecration in accordance with the text of the Veda, of a man who is desirous of and can make use of sacred knowledge. 14. He from whom the pupil gathers the knowledge of his religious duties, Dharman, is called the Acharya, teacher. 15. Him he should never offend. 16. For he causes him, the pupil, to be born a second time by imparting to him sacred learning. 17. His second birth is the best. 18. The father and the mother produce the body only. 19. Let him initiate a Brahmana in spring, a Kshatriya in summer, a Vaishya in autumn. A Brahmana in the 8th year after conception, a Kshatriya in the 11th year after conception, and a Vaishya in the 12th year after conception.
Once the duty of Shudra assigned in 7th Sutra, which is to serve above 3 castes. From there onwards, we won't see the Shudra in Enlightenment program as per Mr. Vinod. In the Enlightenment program, we see only 3 castes, Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishya. To clarify this, once again we read. Apastamba Dharma Sutra, Prasna 1, Patala 1, Khanda 1, Sutra 19. Let him initiate a Brahmana in spring, a Kshatriya in summer, a Vaishya in autumn. A Brahmana in the 8th year after conception, a Kshatriya in 11th year after conception, and a Vaishya in the 12th after conception. Now what about Shudras? Mr. Vinod should answer for this why Shudras are exempted from your Enlightenment program. Why this division? Why for Shudras there is no program for second birth, which is the best as per Sutra 17. Dear viewers of Gnani's World, this clearly shows Mr. Vinod from String YouTube channel is just a stooge of Manuvadi Brahmins appointed to misguide the society and malign the character of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar and to abuse the architect of Indian Constitution. Dear viewers of Gnani's World, whatever Enlightenment program explained by Mr. Vinod, it only applies to Brahmin, Kshatriya and Vaishya. For Shudra, it is only to serve these 3 castes. To get more clarity that Shudras are kept outside of this program, we will see other khandas from the same Apastamba Dharma Sutra.
Apastamba Dharma Sutra, Prashna 1, Patala 1, Khanda 2, Sutras 33 to 41. Where the do's and don'ts of the student explained at the place of Acharya. 33. The girdle of Brahmana shall be made of munja grass and consists of 3 strings. If possible, the strings should be twisted to the right. 34. A bowstring should be the girdle of a Kshatriya. 35. Or a string of munja grass in which pieces of iron have been tied. 36. A wool thread shall be the girdle of a Vaishya. 37. Or a rope used for yoking the oxen to the plough, or a stringly made of tamala bark. 38. The staff worn by a Brahmana should be made of palasa wood, that of a Kshatriya of a branch of the banyan tree, which grows downwards, that of a Vaishya of Badara or Udumbara wood. Some declare, without any reference to caste, that the staff of a student should be made of the wood of a tree that is fit to be used at the sacrifice. 39. He shall wear a cloth to cover his nakedness. 40. It shall be made of a hemp for a Brahmana, of flax for a Kshatriya, of the skin of a clean animal for a Vaishya. 41. Some declare that the upper garments of a Brahmana should be dyed with red lood.
Now let us see Apastamba Dharma Sutra, Prasna 1, Patala 1, Khanda 3, Sutras 27 to 34. 27. Arms shall not be considered leavings and be rejected by inference from their appearance, but on the strength of ocular or oral testimony only. 28. A Brahmana shall beg, prefacing his request by the word lady. 29. A Kshatriya inserting the word lady in the middle between the words give alms. 30. A Vaishya adding the word lady at the end of the formula. 31. The pupil having taken those alms shall place them before his teacher and offer them to him. 32. He may eat the food after having been ordered to do so by his teacher. 33. If the teacher is absent, the pupil shall offer the food to a member of teacher's family. 34. If the family of the teacher is also absent, the pupil may offer the food to other learned Brahmanas, Kshatriyas also and receive from them the permission to eat. Dear viewers of Jnani's World, did you see any place for Shudras here too? No, right? Mr. Vinod from String YouTube channel just presenting the content from Sadhguru article and trying to say all 4 castes or varnas are equal and anyone can become Dvija, enlightened, and all are enjoying equal status till East India Company arrived and divided. And moreover, Ambedkar read the scriptures which are fabricated by Max Muller. He can be stooge to Manuvadi Brahmins, but he cannot abuse or malign the character of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, the emancipator of the oppressed. Dear viewers of Jnani's World, now let us see what actually Dvija is. Let us first understand who is Dvija. Dvija in Sanskrit means twice born. In the Hindu social system, members of 3 upper varnas or social classes, the Brahmins, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, whose sacrament of initiation is regarded as a second and spiritual birth. The fact that Shudras are not mentioned in the text gives us a hint about the caste system. But let us keep this aside for a while as it is already explained and proved. Now this brings to a question how to become a Dvija. One to become Dvija has to go through Upanayana, which is a sacred thread ceremony is performed to mark the commencement of formal education in the Vedic tradition. Upa means close and Nayanam means to bring. Upanayanam means to bring closer to the Guru or Divine. It is an initiation process to learn the sacred Gayatri Mantra. Upanayanam ceremony includes the wearing of Yagnopavidam, sacred thread on the body. Source: Upanayanam, Vedic Dharma Sansthan, vedicpujas.org. Upanayana, Hindu ritual of initiation restricted to the 3 upper varnas or social classes that marks the male child's entrance upon the life of a student, brahmacharin, and his acceptance as a full member of his religious community. After a ritual bath, the boy is dressed as an ascetic and brought before his guru, personal spiritual guide, who invests him with a deer skin to use as an upper garment, a staff and the sacred thread, upavita or yagnopavita. The thread, consisting of a loop made of 3 symbolically knotted and twisted strands of cotton cord, is replaced regularly so that it is worn throughout the lifetime of the owner, normally over the left shoulder and diagonally across the chest to the right hip. It identifies the wearer as Dvija or twice born. The second birth understood as having taken place when the Guru imparted to the student the Gayatri Mantra, a sacred verse of Rig Veda. Source: Upanayana, Hindu Ritual, Britannica.
This brings us to the conclusion that Upanayana is a ritual between a student and teacher in which a teacher accepts a male boy of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas or Vaishyas as a student and give him his life's first lesson. That is the Gayatri Mantra, and the person is called a Dvija. Therefore, a Dvija cannot be called a person who is enlightened simply because till that time he has just learned one Vedic mantra, that is the Gayatri Mantra. Just because of the sake of argument, let us just look at the meaning of Dvija in Hinduism, Sanskrit, Buddhism, Pali and Marathi. Source: Dvija, 12 definitions, wisdomlib.org. In Hinduism, Dvija means 1. A son of Surasena. 2. The first 3 castes so called for following the common and special dharmas ordained. Insult among themselves and to members of other castes punished. Also ruled as kings. In Pali, Dvija means a Brahman, a bird, a tooth. That is twice born. In Marathi, Dvija means a twice born. A Brahman or Kshatriya or a Vaishya, a bird, a tooth. In Sanskrit, Dvija means twice born. 1. A man of any of the first 3 castes of the Hindus, a Brahmana, Kshatriya or Vaishya. 2. Brahmana, over whom the samskaras or purificatory rites are performed. 3. Any oviparous animal such as a bird, snake, fish. Mahabharata 12, 361-5. 4. A tooth. 5. A star. 6. A kind of horse. 7. A brahmachari. Bhagavad Gita 11, 1842. Agraya, a brahmana. Ayani, the sacred thread worn by the first three castes of Hinduism, Alaya. Therefore, even in different contexts, a Dvija definitely doesn't mean an enlightenment person. Now, dear viewers of Gnani's World, can a person change his or her caste? As per Manusmriti 10:65. To understand the full context, we'll see Manusmriti 10:64 and 65 along with the commentary of a Hindu Sanskrit scholar so that we know the true and full meaning. Source: Manusmriti with the commentary of Medhatiti. 64. If the child born from a Shudra woman to a Brahmana goes on being wedded to a superior person, the inferior attains the superior caste within the 7th generation. 65. The Shudra attains the position of the Brahmana and the Brahmana sinks to the position of the Shudra. The same should be understood to be the case with the offsprings of the Kshatriya or of the Vaishya.
Medhatiti's commentatory, Manubhasya. The offspring here referred to, though mentioned by a masculine noun, stands for the child in general, just as in case of such assertions as Garbhe Grahnati, Gorbe Jata, and so forth. The sense of the words thus comes to be this. A maiden born from a Shudra woman to Brahmana father, if she is wedded to, acquires the capacity for bearing children by becoming conjoined in wedlock to a person of a superior caste. That is, the Brahmana and the girl born of this maiden is again married to a Brahmana, and this goes on for 7 generations. Then in the 7th generation, the child that is born becomes a regular Brahmana. Though the text speaks of a superior caste in general, yet it should be taken as a meaning that the Shudra attains the position of the Brahmana, and this because the Brahmana is mentioned in the text, and also because the next verse speaks of the Shudra attaining the position of the Brahmana. On the principle enunciated here, the child born from the Vaishya mother and the Brahmana hither attains the superior caste in the 5th generation, and that born from the Kshatriya mother in the 3rd generation. In all these cases, the superiority is in comparison to the caste of the mother, so that if the girl born to a Vaishya father from a Shudra mother is married to a Vaishya, she attains the superior caste in the 3rd generation. And the girl born of a Shudra mother to a Kshatriya father, on marrying the Kshatriya, acquires the higher caste in 5th generation. The term Yuga here stands for birth, generation. The inferior one belonging to the lower caste attains the superior, the higher caste. The article in the expression a Saptamat indicates limit. 64. That the Shudra attains the position of the Brahmana is what has already been asserted above. The Brahmana sinks to the position of the Shudra. The Brahmana meant here should be understood to be Brahmana born Parasatra. If he marries a Shudra girl of the nature described above, he sinks down to the lower level in the 3rd generation. This is how they explain this. People who attain the higher caste according to the principle here enunciated become entitled to the sacraments and rites pertaining to that caste. 65. Explanatory notes by Ganganath Jha. If the daughter of a Brahmana from a Shudra female and all their descendants marry Brahmanas, the offspring of the 6th female descendant of the original couple will become a Brahmana. Medhatiti, Govindaraja, Kulika, and Raghavananda. If the son of a Brahmana from a Shudra female marries a similar girl possessed of excellent virtues, and if his descendants go on doing the same, the child born of 6th generation will become a Brahmana, Narayana and Nandana. Therefore, one thing is as clear as water, that caste cannot be changed according to one's intellectual level he is born with, rather than it is on basis of the matrimonial alliance with the upper caste. Not only this, but the matrimonial alliance must go on to at least 3 generations to 7 generations. Now this brings us to one last question, that can a Brahmin fall to the level of a Shudra? It's true that Hindu scripture says a Brahmin falls from his rank if he does so and so sins, but this doesn't mean he becomes a Shudra. Gautama Dharma Shastra 21:4. To be an outcast means to be deprived of the right to follow the lawful occupations of twice-born men. Therefore, it is clear that an outcast is actually not a Shudra but only a special, exceptional case. Now we request Mr. Vinod from String YouTube channel to verify his biased evidence once again and bring the verifiable facts in front once again to prove his claim. Dear viewers, these right-wing hate promoting outlets come and go, but what matters is the truth, the absolute truth. Think for a while, everything is in black and white, you decide what to choose. Kindly subscribe to the channel and press bell icon for updates. And also request you to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and Reddit. Thank you.